as we journey through something really special planned for you today. Leslie and I have been working together to create something magical. And so I know that you will have a multi-sensory experience with today's message. So this is the last Sunday of October, and the theme for this month has been Inspired Living. And the title for my talk today is Inspired Action. Inspired Action. You know, here in a lot of New Thought churches or centers, there's a great emphasis on the mind and the power of the mind, and you hear us talk about it all the time. Change your thinking, change your life. If you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at will change, and it all has a mind component. And this talk does also. But what I want to really emphasize today is the power of action, of taking action. One of the things that we teach our practitioners here is to treat, and move your feet. Now, treat is our term for prayer, for affirmative prayer. So pray, but you move your feet. You don't just sit and pray and wish and hope that things are going to get better or things are going to change, but we actually have to listen for that inner guidance and then take action. Take action. So I looked up action in the dictionary, and I looked up inspired action. And inspire. The inspire means to excite, encourage, or breathe life into. I like that one a lot. Another meaning, tuning into the infinite mind within and catching a creative idea. Inspired, of extraordinary quality, as if arising from some external creative impulse. Now that was in Webster Dictionary, and I actually rewrote it to please myself. And it's not an external creative impulse, it's an internal creative impulse. So I'll say it the way I prefer. Inspired, of extraordinary quality, as if arising from some internal creative impulse. Don't you like that? Because that's where inspiration comes, isn't it? We may see something out there that inspires us, but that urge to actually do something, to move forward, comes from within ourselves. And then action is a thing done, a deed. So inspired action, an impulse, an idea to do something which comes naturally, easily, and often at an unexpected moment that will benefit yourself and others. So, does that sound something that you're interested in doing? Inspired action. Yeah?
Yes.
So is anyone feeling this is the time of the fall and we're going into a sort of a slower pace, moving into winter, which I love, this action slowing down a bit. But inspired action isn't the same as that hot, fiery action of the summer, maybe. So I'm talking about action at this time of year is maybe a more contemplative, inner-directed, spiritual, inspired movement in your life. So it doesn't necessarily mean something loud and bold, but it could be a more meaningful action that you're being called to take. So I want you to think about that throughout my talk. You know, what is this inspired action that is bubbling up within me? What is there a thought? Is there an idea? Something that you're willing to focus on today as I share this. Dale Carnegie says, inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit home and think about it. Go out and get busy. So, we go out and get busy. Again, doesn't mean we have to run out into the world. We can go out into our everyday life, into our garden, into our families, get busy with some inspired movement that expresses your most authentic self. Don Miguel Ruiz says, we don't need a lot of thinking, we need action. It's action that is going to make the difference. And I know that during this particular time, we hear a lot of, if you turn on the news, which I don't very often, or at all, we hear that a lot of people are complaining and grumbling and things aren't going the way we want them to go, and we want more peace and love and harmony, and we want more equality in the world. So there's a lot of desires, prayer requests for taking action in the world. And I know that we also collectively, or as a group, can take some inspired action. We're doing that with the Marshall White Center, with the Free Community Meal. We're taking some inspired action to do good right here at home. So think about that too. What inspired action are you being called to do right here at home in Ogden, in Utah? Deepak Chopra says, my actions are a part of a plan I can barely glimpse, but I know it must exist. And this speaks to me of a bigger design, a bigger plan, if you will. We're all connected. We're all part of this one human family, and we're all being called to do our part. What's that? I don't know what your part is. You know what your part is. Your part could be growing flowers. Your part could be doing someone's books, counting. Your part could be fill in the blank, whatever that might be. So just pay attention. What is your part in this big plan? Ernest Holmes says, the world we live in is all that it appears to be, but it is also so much more. There is an unseen cause, the intelligence or purpose in and through all things. Ephemeral and intangible as it may seem, this cause, which can only be described as a form of thought, is the basic reality of the universe. Such thought is the action or function of a supreme consciousness which may be defined as mind, spirit, or God. So again, we're tuning in to listen to that voice, that guidance, that purpose, that prompting that is seeking to make itself known within us. That idea, that big idea. And then we take action on that out in the world. So we're not just sitting at home thinking about a lot of great ideas. So Leslie and I created some action mantras that you're all going to participate in today. And I've taken the word action, ACTION, and I'm using that acronym, action, for this talk and for these 6 mantras today. So the first letter, A, is awareness. I am aware that spirit is my limitless source and supply. So in order to really, my light's out, but that's okay. In order to really understand how you can be a conscious co-creator and participate in this action in your world, awareness is the very first thing. We have to be aware. We have to be aware that we are more than just this body, we're more than just this mind. We are a being. We are a part of this universal collective. And so as we become aware that there's a bigger purpose for us, that it's not just about my little life, doing my little things, but there's a bigger purpose. And as we become aware, we notice that, yes, I'm this mind, yes, I'm this body, but there's a deeper dimension to my being. And this awareness is a deep I, a deep sense of I, a deep sense of self. And so really that's what this waking up journey is all about, tuning into that deeper sense of I am, that deep sense of I. So through your power of awareness, you access a limitless source. So we access a limitless source of ideas, a limitless source of love, and we're so programmed to think that there's just a limited source, and it's the things that we have around us. it's our own thinking, but there's a limitless source. And that's what we come here today to celebrate. There's an unlimited source, and each of us can tune into that unlimited source of love, and peace, and power, and beauty. But we have to have the awareness of this before we actually can access it consciously and use it in our lives. Genevieve Barron says, in Your Invisible Power, the power that brought you into existence did so for the purpose of expressing its limitless supply through you. There is no power on earth which can cut you off from your source except your own consciousness. So, this is our mantra. I am aware that spirit is my limitless source and supply. Really feel these words. And sing along too if you feel comfortable.
You have one of these.
I am aware. I am aware that spirit is my limitless source and supply. I am aware that spirit is my limitless source and supply. I am aware that spirit is my limitless source and supply. Source and supply.
Take a deep breath. Thank you, that was beautiful. Thank you, Ernesto's on our new drum. It's pretty awesome. It's called the Cajon, and it's fabulous. And thank you, Leslie, for getting that yesterday and bringing it here to us. So I am aware that spirit is my limitless source and supply. Okay, we've just grounded that in. We've used our words to activate that awareness within us. So when we get confused, that we think our source comes out from the outside, our good comes from our spouse, or our good comes from our work, or our good comes from our body, or our good comes from something outside of this innate, indwelling, abundant source of good, of light, of love. Remember, that is an unlimited source of love within me. If you remember that, you've got your little mantra sheets. So the next word is confidence. Well, I have to pick two. Confidence and certainty. And this is the C of the word action. And our thoughts create our results. We can know that for sure. We have confidence. Who has confidence that what they think about comes about? Yeah. Do you have confidence in that the words you speak actually manifest in the world? That the words you think, what you think about actually comes about? Because that's really the premise of these teachings here, that we can think a new thought and have a new experience. And if we consistently think of the things that we want to experience, be they peace or love or abundance or whatever it is you're calling in, if we constantly, creatively, confidently, with certainty speak then that will be manifest. Do you believe that?
Yes.
Yes.
Because that's fundamental to this inspired action, and it's fundamental to being a conscious co-creator and developing a life that you really love. Do you understand the power of your word creates?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, what comes up for us when we are going down that road of life and we're wanting to create a more expanded version of our life, our fears can come up. And then we can get derailed, and then we don't have a lot of confidence, and we can't think in this way with certainty because our fears become so much bigger than our belief. Anyone else experience that? So I've got to list fears, and I'm going to read them through, and this is just for your own awareness, so you can just identify, oh yeah, I have that fear sometimes. We all have all of these fears to some degree, but sometimes when you hear there'll be one that you go, yeah, that's the one I struggle with, and maybe it's time to do a little work on that fear. So the fears that I came up with are a fear that I'm fundamentally flawed, unlovable, imperfect, unworthy, inconsequential. So a fear that I'm fundamentally flawed, a fear of failure, a fear of conflict, fear of being blamed, a fear of being judged, a fear of abandonment, fear of showing weakness, fear of overwhelm, fear of outshining others, fear of missing out. So, there's a few fears, and just to point them out, these things come up. This is a part of being human. We've been programmed and conditioned and educated to be fearful of life and fearful of our own power. But as we start to step into our power and become conscious co-creators, we're willing to look fear in the face and have a confidence about us and a certainty that we can move forward in the direction that we're going, and that these fears, they're just stories. They're just stories that we believe. They're just thoughts that we believe over and over again, and then they become these looming big things that we deal with. And then they affect the decisions we make. They affect the actions we take. So we can face our fears. And so the mantra is, I step forward with confidence and certainty.
Dignity.
Dignified breath. That's awesome. Okay, we're in a good now. Okay, so the next word is T. The next letter is T, and it stands for truth. The truth that never changes. We live in an intelligent universe that always responds to our thoughts. This is the truth. We can have confidence and certainty in that. The truth does not change. No matter which way we come at it, the truth about God, about ourselves, about the universe and how it works, it does not change. We can know this. This is the truth. We may change our awareness of the truth and our ability to access it, but the truth is absolute. The absolute truth about you is that you are loved. Did you hear that? The absolute truth about you is that you are loved, and you are loved, and you are here to love, and here to spread your love. And so when that voice in our head pops up to stop us in our action, our inspired action forward, we can take a moment. We can, if the thought comes up to sabotage where we're headed, and we don't remember that we are love in action, then we can say, that's not the truth of who I am. That's not the truth of who I am. And we can do a course correction. We can give ourselves a little talking to inside our head. That's not the truth. And we can do that thing that I say all the time, just stop it. Stop it.
Stop it. Stop it.
Stop it. And we can decline to be discouraged. We can just decline to be discouraged as we move forward. The highest point of your journey back to you is the moment when you finally see yourself through the eyes of truth. If you can see your authentic self, you will love what you see. You see the magnificence of your presence. You see how wonderful and beautiful you are. You see the perfection in you. And this breaks any doubts that anyone else ever put in your head. You see that you are light, that you are life, and when you accept your own divinity, you become a better, clearer reflection of life. And that's by Don McGarry. So, let your love light shine. And let love live your life. And so our mantra is, the truth is, I am love. The truth is, I am love. Is I in action is idea. And idea. So what big idea do you have? Now I've been asking you to focus on an idea. And I have an idea. I'm going to split you up if there's anyone talking. So, an idea. An idea. I want you to tune in to a big idea. For you. I don't mean some, I'm going to, travel the world and heal all of the sick or anything like that. Although that's a wonderful idea. What is a big idea that is up for you right now? It could be I'm going to quit smoking. It could be I'm going to go after that new job. It could be I'm going to be kinder. It could be I'm going to stop being so negative. Like something. What's a big idea that is up for you right now? I want all of you to identify that. Breathe it in. You got it? Okay. We can prove that this stuff works. This inspired action actually works. So hold that thought in your mind. Do you have it? Okay. All right. So we're going to take action on that idea. See, a thought is a movement. It's already action. So the fact that you've had an idea, you've already taken the first step forward. And you move confidently with certainty forward in your life with this big idea, okay? So what is one thing that you can do today that's going to get the ball rolling even more further down that road? So what's one thing you can do today? I want you to identify that for yourself. And when you've identified for yourself that one thing that you could do today that's going to help you realize this new big idea, I want you to raise your hand. Then we'll know that we can move on with the rest of the talk, so we'll just wait until you. No pressure. Okay, here we go. So everyone's got a big idea, and they've got an idea of something that they can do for themselves to move themselves in that direction. Okay. Action is the magic that makes welcome all things necessary for the fulfillment of your desires, your dreams, and your wishes, your big ideas. Okay, so my big idea is a blessing to the world. So this thing that you felt of today, this is a blessing to the world.
My big idea is a blessing to the world.
Is a blessing to the world.
My big idea is a blessing to the world.
Is a blessing to the world.
My big idea is a blessing to the world.
Is a blessing to the world.
My big idea is a blessing to the world.
Is a blessing to the world. All right, see, it's simple. Sometimes we don't realize that we are a blessing to the world. But one little idea, a spark, a desire within you is a way we bring forth blessings into the world. So it's not selfish. This thing that you're going for, whether it's a new job or to bring more peace into your family, that's a big idea. That's a worthy, valuable idea, and it's a blessing to this world. So keep having big ideas, and you'll be a blessing to the world. Okay, O is the next letter, and it's own. Own my superpowers. I'm going to own that I have these powers. I'm going to own this. I'm going to own my identity, and I'm going to stand in my strength. I'm really going to own this ability to be a co-creator. Genevieve Barron says, live these experiences over and over again mentally until you really feel in touch with the self, which knows and does, and then the best there is yours. So we keep these ideas in our minds and we think them over and over again. We own them. They become alive for us. Why? Because we've inspired them. We've breathed life into them, and then they become a manifestation. Our ideas, our thoughts become things. And that is inspired action and a blessing to the world. I own my superpowers and use them creatively.
I own my superpowers.
Own my superpowers.
And use them creatively.
Use them creatively.
I own my superpowers.
I own my superpowers.
And use them creatively.
And use them creatively.
I own my superpowers.
I own my superpowers.
And use them creatively.
And use them creatively.
I own my superpowers.
I own my superpowers.
And use them creatively.
And use them creatively. All right, so we have superpowers, and the main one being our thinking. Our thinking and our loving heart are our superpowers, and we use them creatively with whatever we're doing. With cooking a meal, playing with our grandchildren, our children, or just being at work in our everyday lives. We use those superpowers. And what we think about comes about and expands. So, I just realized, did I get off on one of my, did I say T before N? No. Okay,
Where is
no,
it?
here we go. The dyslexic in me really gets confused with order. So here we go. We're at N. We're actually at N. We're the last one. Oh my gosh. Okay, and N is New World. New World. So this whole acronym is about creating inspired action. Why? So that we can create a new world for ourselves. And a new world, because we're part of everything, we're all connected, there's only one thing happening. If we're creating a new world for ourselves, it affects the whole. We're creating a new world. So, you are a creative genius. Did you know that? You are a creative genius. And you have superpowers, and you've just discovered them. And so now you get to go forth and have your big idea. Right, William? Big ideas. You have the power to bring your big idea into life, and you have the ability to create the life that you absolutely love. One big idea at a time. Once we begin down this path of co-creation of a new world, and as Holmes says, our minds must be cleared of all limiting ideas. We begin with a child's sense of discovery, which enables us to be ready to accept the new and marvelous world we will encounter. Once we are able to do this, we will realize that there is a power greater than we are, even though we use it, and know that there is an intelligence beyond our conscious knowledge which flows through us. So we can have confidence in this as we go forward, creating our whole new world. Those who are willing to abandon themselves to the genius of the universe, to their intimate relationship to it, and who applies his thought and feeling and all that they are to this conviction, will create and experience a joyous new life, a new life that is the outward manifestation of a new pattern of thought. That is so inspiring, that we can have a new pattern of thought and have a new world, a new order of living. And so, I end with this. This is from Deepak Chopra. The life you know is a thin layer of events covering a deeper reality. In the deeper reality, you are part of every event that is happening now, has ever happened, or ever will happen. In this deeper reality, you know absolutely who you are and what your purpose is. There is no confusion or conflict with any other person on earth. Your purpose in life is to help creation expand and grow. When you look at yourself, you see only love. And so, our final and most wonderful mantra for this is, I am a thinker that thinks the thoughts that creates my own new special world. Woo! We're going to have to break that one up.
I am the thinker.
I am the thinker
That thinks the thoughts.
that thinks the thoughts
That create my own.
that create my own
New and special world.
new and special world.
I am the thinker.
I am the thinker
That thinks the thoughts.
that thinks the thoughts
That create my own.
that create my own
New and special world.
new and special world. All right. That was awesome. Thank you so much. We didn't practice this, just so you know. I said to Leslie yesterday, I went into their practice, and I said, I got a big idea. She's like,
She had an idea.
I had an idea. And I gave her the sheet, and she's like, what is this? I don't quite understand. I made a few, grammatical changes, and she goes, oh. And so she came up with that last night, and it was beautiful. Thank you so much.
That was fun. Okay.
So let's take this whole big concept of action, awareness, confidence and certainty, truth, idea, own it, own our superpowers, and then create a whole new world. So let's take that into prayer now. So as I turn within, and I access that dimension of my being that is limitless, that is beyond the surface thinking, that is beyond the world of effects, that is the deep, 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 wide, infinite, internal reservoir of infinite good and ideas and possibilities and potentialities. this realm of spirit that is always mine, it's closer than close. And I recognize it now. And I know that my mind is a creative center for the divine mind to flow. And so I open my mind right now. I open my mind to feel this emerging idea of inspired action. And I know that I've had a big idea today. A big idea for me. And I know that I'm going to move forward with awareness. I'm going to move forward with confidence and certainty. And I'm going to remember my truth that I am love. And as each new idea comes up, I'm going to own it. I'm going to own my power. And I know that these ideas are ideas coming through for me to do something about. So I'm going to do something about it today. I already have an action step. I already know that thing I'm going to do today to keep this ball rolling, to keep this idea, this energy flowing, because I am a creator. And I'm creating a whole new world today for myself. And change begins with me, because I know that the changes that happen in my life ripple out, have an effect, and go out to change the world. And for this I give thanks. For the truth of my being, for my love and my ability to connect with that love and share it with the world, I give thanks. For this community, I give thanks. For having a space to grow, a community to grow with, to try this way of thinking out on, I give thanks. And I release this prayer because I know what I know about prayers is once they've been thought, spoken, they're already done. It's already done here today. So let's say together. It's so is. Thank you. Alright, so it's time for our offering. It's time to share our gifts. And I know that we're making a movement here in consciousness as we have an intention to acknowledge our source, our limitless source and supply, and we're doing that today. It's disguised as a donation to the Satya Center, but what it really is, it's a movement of your own consciousness saying, yes, I accept that I am unlimitlessly supported, supplied, nourished, and grown. So I give and I receive. So please share with me, join me in this blessing joyfully. I give with gratitude, for I know that as I give, I am given. I allow the abundant nature of the universe to flow through me now. I am so blessed and